I'm Lin.
And I'm Leo. Welcome back to day 24.
Yes, and if you've been with us so far, then you'll know the warm-up. We will be starting in Adho Mukha Virasana, and if you haven't joined us up until now, then get on your mat and we'll show you what to do. Okay.
Just to say, if you do like our videos, please subscribe to the channel and click on the like button. It does help.
Yes, there is that. Okay, so extending in Adho Mukha Virasana, you can see here Leo's practicing. If you're just joining us for today, then be sure that you are extending back towards your heels. If you find this a real job, if you've got stiff hips, stiff knees, which is quite normal, that's why you come to practice yoga, then have a cushion between the heels and the buttocks. This will help enormously to give you a direction of work. So Leo's just going to give a little demo on this. So as you extend, yes, you come into this position so that you can lift the abdomen and push back onto some sort of support. So coming forward, resting the head down and just starting your practice, observing your breath, becoming aware of the abdomen extending towards the spine, but then of course extending the energy towards the chest side. Keep the palms extending down, elbows locked. We're coming for Adho Mukha Svanasana. So look forward, come up onto your knees, tuck your toes under and extend up. Reaching up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. So a lot of you, many of you who have been following us in these in the Get Up and Go series, you will be familiar with this pose. So once we become more familiar with the poses, then we have to work a little more intensely in them. So be sure that you're planting very strongly down with your palms so there's no air gaps between the palm and the floor. Lock your elbows and lift so much through the upper arms, through the side waist, up towards your buttocks. See that the back of the pelvis is extending towards the leg side. Then being sure with all of that upward lift, you're able to then move the root of the thighs back. So those frontal creases need to move and deepen their imprint into the body. The back of the leg needs to be fed. So you have to see that the back of the leg becomes nice and broad. Look forward. We're coming for Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath in and come into your extension forward. So some of you joining us for the first time today and you're not sure of this pose, then just follow us on the video. See that you press strongly into your palms and you lift from the base of the body, from the base of the front body. Take a nice deep inhalation and broaden across those collarbones. If you're able to come onto the top of the foot, then do so. If that's a little bit challenging on your back at this stage, then of course keep your toes tucked under. We're going to come out of this action now for Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog head down again. Reach back, lengthen the spine again, extend strongly with the legs back towards the back end of the mat, and look forward now for Uttanasana, either jump or step the feet towards the hands. Good. And coming to Uttanasana, keep those legs absolutely straight. So some of you will be familiar with Uttanasana now. So what I want to say about this pose today is to maintain the leg work by being very sharp in those outer foot bones and lifting the inner ankles up. This is key, lifting through the inner thighs to the inner groins. Then challenging the action of the back thigh, open the back creases of the buttock and lengthen towards your waist side. Be in that position. Now for some of you, if you're a little bit more mobile, then you can place your hands back towards the sides of the feet. Now if you find this pose is an absolute killer on your hamstrings and really difficult, then you will be needing to modify this action by placing your hands either onto a couple of yoga blocks, bricks, or a couple of books. You can see here, these are imaginary yoga bricks or books. So be in this position, otherwise continue with your action and just be in your Uttanasana for a few more moments. Soft inhalation, soft exhalation. Good. Now coming out of the pose, lift your abdomen and then see that you come up with a straight spine. Okay, stand in Tadasana and just be aware of the breath, the inhalation, the exhalation. Just see that those facial features become soft, broaden across your collarbones, and see that the thighs are really reaching back, weighting to the back of the heels. So see that the base of the pose is connecting with the earth side. Very important in Tadasana. We're going to be coming to some of the floor work now for a pose called Supta Virasana. It's a challenging action for a lot of people, so just watch if you're not sure of the pose. So can you see here, Leo's going to be sitting in a Virasana action. Now, Leo's going to be sitting between the heels. However, a lot of you will find this very challenging to do that. So we suggest that you place a blanket or foam block underneath the buttocks like this. Let me just show you on Leo. It may be a little bit higher. I'm going to take that out in a second. But if you find it really challenging to sit, you may need to, we have actually explained previously in the other programs that you need to sit as high as required. I mean, if there's problems in the feet, there's problems in the knees, then you're going to have to be able to sit a little bit higher temporarily until you can sit there calmly.
I have to say many of our students struggle with this pose. So it may be that you're not going to go into the Supta Virasana variation of this today, and you may need to have, some students have 4 pads to sit on, so they'll be possibly here to sit into it. And that's fine, you just have to wait until the thigh muscles are long enough, the fibres are long enough to enable you to sit between the feet.
Yes, absolutely. So if you are sitting in a good Virasana on a height or not on a height, depending, just sit there for a moment, roll your shoulders up and down. So for those of you who are on quite a height, then going back isn't for you just yet. So you'll be sitting in this position, you'll be coming into Parvatasana. Leo's just going to demonstrate the Parvatasana action. You'll be extending the arms up nicely and then changing the interlock, so the other little fingers on the outside. But you can be in this position for a little while and do several times. Those of you going into the back bend in action, you have to see that you keep the length through the spine and the length through the upper body. You can see here, this is a lift through the back body, seeing that you lift those back ribs up and lowering yourself down. So this will take a little time. I'm just going to move. This may take a little time, or you may be able to come into it easily. Once you're in this position, then the full action is extending your arms above your head. So be in this position.
So do you want them folded?
Yeah, folded. You can have the arms extending straight back, or you can have them folded. It's quite nice on a support because then they're supported by the end of the support and the blanket, and this works really well. So you have to see that when you're in your Supta Virasana, that your shins are still moving down strongly and the little toe of the foot is grounding down. So you have to be mindful of that action. And slowly, slowly releasing the muscle fibers, the tension within the body. So it does take a little while. Those of you in Virasana, just be in Virasana just for a few more moments, it will come. I remember when I first started yoga, which was many years ago, and we came to Supta Virasana, I had to go back onto a chair. So it was quite hard, believe it or not. Yeah. So we've all got our starting point, so don't worry about that. The point is that you need to build the preparation and the foundation in the body for these kind of poses. You can stay in this a little longer for those of you who are managing, but otherwise we're going to come out of the pose now. So taking a breath in and then pressing onto your feet to come up, bend your elbows and lift up with an open chest. Good. And then stretching the legs out in front of you. So those of you in Virasana, you can stretch those legs out at the same time, extending to your heels. And again, after we've been practicing an extreme bent leg position, then it's really good to iron out the legs. So press down with your thighs, extend into your heels. The length of the lower back needs to be extending as if you're reaching those heels into a brick wall. Lifting through the abdomen and opening through the chest. So really good Dandasana action. And just let the breath become smooth, even and calm. Remembering the back muscles, remembering to lift through the back ribs and see that the shoulder blades extend towards the waist. So we've got a two-way action going on there. The lower rib lifts, the shoulder blade releases down towards the back waist. Find that breath, find that quietness. We're going to come into our Supta action now.
Blanket to sit on. Being very generous today.
Yeah. So we're coming into Sukhasana just to come back to a neutral position, but we're going to continue the sequencing with Jatara Paravatasana. So this pose is when we come into a supine action, so make sure you've got plenty of space around you because your arms need to be extending out towards the sides.
So I'm going to just move the mat slightly away from the wall so we've got a little bit more space here.
Yes, good. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, put this out. Okay, so you can see here Leo's extending her arms out to the side. What's very important about this preparation is that you soften the abdomen. You have to drop the abdomen towards the spine. You have to release it towards the spine. Just let it completely soften so that when you bring the legs up, there's space in the frontal hip flexors so that you can get this action. You can see Leo comes into this pose nicely. Notice how the feet are active. The toes are spreading and there's a sharpness to the foot. The foot is in a Tadasana action. Bring the toes towards you a little, that's it. The legs are going to go to your right, and as the legs go to your right, you've got to see that your abdomen draws to the spine and your left shoulder stays completely down. If it starts to lift a little, then you know that you've gone a little bit too far, the abdomen isn't supporting you, so you have to build this pose over time. So hovering the knees, and eventually the knees will come in line with the armpit, but slowly but surely. As soon as you feel that you're going to go, the legs are too heavy, then you can see here, that's not the idea of the pose. You want to see it's controlled and maintained like this. Controlled and maintained. The abdomen is drawing back. Abdomen drawing back towards the spine. Yes. And then bringing the legs back to center. We're going to go to the left side now. So soften that abdomen, bring the thighs towards you, and then let the legs go over towards your left side. Just let everything soften, abdomen softening. Go and see that your right shoulder is moving down. Go and see that you're creating that strength through the lift of the abdomen. So you're not tensing that abdominal area, you're just redirecting it towards the inner face of the spine. Just hover there, just be there for a few moments. Soft breath, soft inhalation and exhalation. And then bringing those legs back. position, just being aware of your breath. Take a few deeper, longer inhalations. Be aware of that opening in your chest cavity. Be aware of that lift through the centre of your body. So you can stay in this position for as long as you wish to, being aware of your breath, quietening, keeping the mind nice and quiet and peaceful. We're coming to the end of our sequencing now, so we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And of course, if you've liked our videos, please